I'm Liam.
I'm Wayne,
You're listening to In Film We Trust YouTube.
a place where we post clips from our recent episode.
All links down below in the description.
And now, on with the show.
He lives in this futuristic world, which is 2046, we're right about, and the future looks very much like you would think it would look if you'd seen any of your Blade Runners. We get a lot of these panning shots over these huge, very high-tech, weird-looking buildings.
Crappy looking cars as well. Did you find...
Yeah, I don't like the look of those. I mean, the futuristic cars.
They look... Well, I know we're talking about budgets. It looked quite cheap, didn't they? It looked like such a crappy facade.
They look quite stupid. They look like, almost like I'd made the
They look like a Hoover.
They did, yeah. They had these very strange looks, and of course you've got these kind of planes flying over top in this futuristic city. Drones all over the place as well.
Yeah, we've got all this set up, drones. It's almost you could say a police state to a point, couldn't you?
Sort of.
Very surveillanced.
Very, very surveillance heavy.
And
also.
Gray's the antithesis. He's, you could say he's almost a Luda. He's anti-technology.
Yeah, he's very
or
much
the incorporation of technology and humans.
He is, yeah. Which you can understand because it's like the older generation now who didn't like us grew up with computers and with phones and stuff like that. So it's not that they don't like it. It's just maybe for them it doesn't feel necessary because Gray is a mechanic. And we're introduced to him modifying I believe it's a Trans Am.
But did you also see in the garage? He also had a record player. It was like a blues track on the record.
In fact, that's how he opened because it pans over.
And he's dressed in blue jeans and a white t-shirt, very Americana.
He's a very old school guy, and he's like got oil on him. He's very greasy and sweaty. Been modifying this car. And what does he say when he puts the car back together?
I love you.
I love you. Which is great. So yeah, it establishes this guy as a kind of very down to earth, very kind of.
Well, yeah, he's a throwback, and I got. Did you ever see the film Christine by John Carpenter?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I definitely got them vibes off this with the man and machine type thing, the car, the man,
kind of working in harmony.
Did you get Christine vibes? Just from that, I don't mean the whole film itself. I mean that element of it.
Not so much, no. Maybe because I've not seen it for a while, but yeah, I just never drew them comparisons.
And yeah, his wife Asha, she's the complete opposite, isn't she?
Yeah, she's complete opposite to him because she works for
Cobalt,
this fancy tech company, and you can see it doesn't bother him that she does, but he's like he just doesn't. They don't understand each other. He doesn't get why she's obsessed with technology. She doesn't understand why he doesn't. I don't know, try and update his views on it, as you could say.
Yeah, he's almost like a barbarian to her, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very much like an outsider in this world. But then again, because this world has so much kind of scum and greasiness in it, which we see later on, that's more his world.
Because when they go to see Aaron, when they deliver the car, that's when we learn about STEM, which is essentially, it's like a brain implant, isn't it? Because Aaron describes it as a new, better brain.
It does, yeah. Because do you know what the word STEM means in Dutch?
You tell us.
It's voice.
Voice.
Because I don't, do we ever, is it an acronym? Do we ever find out what STEM stands for? I don't think we do.
No, we don't. That was actually going to be the title of the film, STEM.
It was the original title of the film, yeah. But this STEM, because they go to this tech guy, Aaron, who
lives under Stonehenge, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a discount Stonehenge. He's like a very socially awkward guy.
Yep.
When you wonder, why has this guy got a Trans Am? Seems kind of strange. But they deliver this to him, and they've got this STEM implant, which is, because he's looking at making humans better. It's like this kind of the next generation of humans, you could say.
You could almost actually say beyond human, when human and machine completely morphs into one.
Yeah. Do you know what did make me laugh? When they first meet Aaron, what's he doing in the thing?
With a cloud.
Yeah, he's operating a cloud like the cloud from computers. Like, do you think that's what they were
I thought that was
aiming for?
intentional. That's what I thought as well.
He's working with the cloud, but he's this fairly young guy.
Yeah, I would say he's very old. What do you say, middle-20s?
He's mid-20s. He's kind of socially awkward. He's not really sure. Because he even says he doesn't get out much. He doesn't talk to people very much.
There's a scene in, when he visits Gray in hospital.
Yeah.
And he has a mask on.
Yeah.
I never thought twice about it. I'm so conditioned with COVID.
I didn't even think about that because he walks in, he's got the blue mask. I'm like, holy shit, this movie predicted it. Because I understand it's a medical mask, but at the time, after Gray has the accident, he doesn't have any injuries that you would need to wear a mask for, but it's just so weird.
Because Gray says, I'm not going to give you bird flu.
Exactly.
But did you think, when he walked in, I never thought twice. I was like, because you're so used to seeing people with masks now.
Obviously, because I first watched it 2018 when it came out, and I didn't think anything of it. This time I'm like, oh my God, I actually had to pause the film. I can't believe he's actually got this thing on. But, another interesting thing, when he met him, for me, this was kind of subverting a cliche, I think, is when he's talking to him, he comes in. Now, there's so many movies and TVs you watch, and I hate when people do this. Somebody will come into a room and they'll say, oh, you're late. And it makes no difference to the scene at all. Here, he says, you're early, which is almost like flipping that on its head, because I'm like, if them being late doesn't affect the scene, what's the point of even saying it?
Well, so did you think it was clever going with the early?
I think it was very clever.
Yeah, did you appreciate that way?
No, but I like the flip around. But
do you like people to be punctual even in films?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
always punctual. But with this guy, Aaron he's kind of a visionary, and he's seeing this, like you say, enhancing humans, making humans better than they are. And his idea is to put these microchips into people, which, with this film, the essence of it is Gray has this accident. Gray and Asha have an accident.
Their car is hacked by a bunch of bandits.
Basically, like, also, did that not highlight, because see, when you have a car that you drive yourself, you're fully in control. But with the automated car, they're not doing anything, and the car malfunctions, and they can't get it back to... That kind of highlights another one of these cyberpunk elements, is the kind of fear of losing control.
A technological fear, isn't it? That's what came into my mind as well. You're kind of getting this clash of the world we're moving towards, and then how vulnerable everybody will be in a way.
Because if you think self-driving cars are going to come in at some point in the future, how would you feel sitting in a self-driving car with no steering wheel and no pedals? That would be like, because if the car started to go funny, what would you do?
You're stuffed, Wayne.
Exactly.
There is nothing you can do. But the thing is, there's a worry about even hospitals, isn't there, in real life?
Yeah.
How vulnerable they'll be. So I thought that was a purposeful comment. Did you not?
I think so, because they make a lot of Gray's kind of fears very relevant, because he's not wanting to be dependent on technology, yet he's kind of forced to be in this film. He's forced to deal with this all.
That is actually one of my points. When he, because obviously Gray's a complete throwback, and technology for him stopped apparently in the 70s.
Yeah.
So when he has his accident and he's forced to rely on technology, it's like, oh, here's this juxtaposition between an anti-tech guy, and now he essentially can't live without technology.
That's what I said. It's kind of like an ultimate irony, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also a throwback to films like I, Robot and 2001, this idea of being replaced with robots, because obviously you got assembly lines, you got these factories where everything is being built by robots, everything's being
automated.
done by them. Yeah, exactly. So I think, the film also plays on that fear of being essentially obsolete because you've been replaced by a robot which is faster than you, smarter than you, can do everything you can do but better. So why are you even necessary?